Why can something as simple as cucumbers submerged in vinegar feel like a little health secret that almost everyone overlooks? Why is it that in so many places where people live the longest, the food seems to be simple, plant-based, light, and often preserved in traditional ways? And why can such a humble food, full of water, crunchy, and low in calories, become a silent helper when you are trying to eat better, feel lighter, and take care of your body every day? Stay until the end, because today we are going to prepare some refreshing, easy, and flavorful pickled cucumbers, while we discover why this type of food appears time and time again when talking about longevity, balance, and a healthy life. Today I want to share with you a wonderful recipe for pickled cucumbers, a simple, fresh, and pleasant preparation that your body will thank you for. It is not just about putting a few cucumber slices into a jar with vinegar. Behind this dish is a lighter, more mindful way of eating that is much closer to those traditional habits that have accompanied strong, active, and long-living people for generations. For this recipe, I am going to use approximately 2 pounds of cucumbers. It is a perfect amount to prepare several jars and have them ready for several days. When I was trying to lose weight, cucumbers were one of those foods that always returned to my table. They have a very high water content, and because of that, eating just a small amount can help provide a feeling of fullness. They are fresh, light, and do not burden the body with unnecessary calories. Furthermore, cucumbers contain fiber, and fiber plays an important role when we talk about a balanced diet. It can help us feel full for longer, and within a healthy diet, it is also associated with managing cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar balance. That is why, if you have ever wondered why so many health-conscious people include cucumbers in their diet, the answer starts here. It is a simple, yet very smart food. Now we are going to prepare the cucumbers because this step determines whether the final result will have that vibrant color and crunchy texture we all expect. A pickled cucumber can have a perfect brine, but if it turns out mushy, it loses almost all its appeal. Therefore, before talking about the vinegar and spices, we must take care of the base. First, we wash the cucumbers well and cut them into slices. For this recipe, we use approximately 2 pounds, enough to fill the jars and keep a good reserve. The slices should not be too thin because we want them to withstand the process and retain their body when bitten into. At this point, you can already notice the freshness of the cucumber, that clean plant-like aroma that makes it such a light food. Next comes a very simple yet important trick. We place the slices in hot water for just 10 to 20 seconds. We do not want to cook them, just give them a quick blast of heat. This small step helps to better set the color and prepares the cucumber to stay firmer during pickling. It seems like a minor detail, but in such a simple recipe, the details are what separate an ordinary result from a truly delightful one. As soon as those seconds pass, the cucumbers must go directly into an ice water bath. This sudden change stops the effect of the heat and helps preserve the texture. We leave them there for about 30 minutes. While they rest, the cold works silently, restoring firmness to each slice and helping to ensure the final bite is fresh, clean, and crunchy. Then we add a little salt to the ice water. The salt helps to better prepare the soak and contributes to the cucumbers, maintaining a more stable texture. Isn't it curious that something as simple as cold water, ice, and salt can change the result so much? When the cucumbers finish this bath, they will be ready to dry and receive the brine. And when the base is done well, everything that comes after, from the vinegar to the spices, can shine with much more natural strength in the end. While the cucumbers rest in the ice bath, it is time to prepare the brine, which will be the heart of this recipe. The texture is already protected, but now we need to build the flavor. That balance between sweet, sour, and aromatic that turns simple cucumber slices into an irresistible pickle. And the best part is that there is no need to memorize a complicated formula, because here we use a very easy rule. 1, 2, 3. The rule is simple. 1 cup of vinegar, 2 cups of sugar, and 3 cups of water. The vinegar provides the acidity that awakens the palate and helps preserve the cucumbers. The sugar softens that sharpness and provides a gentler background. The water brings everything together and prevents the brine from being too intense. When these three ingredients combine, a clear, bright, and balanced base emerges. But if we want a deeper flavor, almost like a pickle served in a good restaurant, we add spices. We incorporate black peppercorns, dill seeds, and coriander seeds. The pepper leaves a warm note, the dill provides that classic pickle aroma, and the coriander adds a soft, fragrant touch. Isn't it curious how a few seeds can completely change the personality of a recipe? Next, we put the mixture over low heat and stir calmly. We are not looking for a rolling boil, but rather for the sugar to dissolve little by little and the spices to release their aroma. The kitchen begins to fill with that familiar smell of sweet vinegar and herbs, like a homemade preserve. We keep stirring until the brine reaches a light simmer. At that moment, it is ready to receive the cucumbers. When the cucumbers finish soaking, we take them out of the ice water and let them dry before putting them into the jars. This step prevents excess water from diluting the flavor. This way, when the brine is poured over them, each slice will be able to better absorb that sweet, sour, and spiced balance that we just prepared with patience, attention, and real care from the beginning. While the cucumbers dry and the glass jars are already sterilized, it is worth pausing on an idea that makes this recipe make more sense. I recently found information about the so-called blue zones, those places in the world where reaching 100 years old does not seem impossible, but rather a much more common reality. And when you observe how these people live, a very clear pattern emerges. They eat simply, prioritize plant-based foods, and preserve many traditional customs at the table. That is why these pickled cucumbers are not just a fresh side dish. They also remind us of an ancient way of caring for the body with humble ingredients. Why do so many long-living people eat simple dishes instead of relying on heavy and complicated meals? Why do vegetables, homemade preserves, and moderate portions appear so often when talking about living longer and better? Now we place the cucumbers in their new homes, the glass jars. They must be clean, dry, and ready to receive the crunchy slices. We arrange them carefully without crushing them, leaving space so the brine can cover every part. Little by little, the mixture of vinegar, sugar, water, and spices enters the jar and begins to surround the cucumbers, preparing for that slow transformation that will occur over the next few days. There is also something important to learn from those people who live so many years. Their secret is not just in what they eat. A plant-based diet, accompanied by a mindful way of controlling portions, is only one part of the balance. They also move naturally every day, walk, work, care for their surroundings, and do not separate physical activity from daily life. Furthermore, they manage stress better and usually have a clear purpose. Many maintain a spiritual foundation, a reason to get up every morning, and a deep connection with their family and friends. So when we look at a jar of pickled cucumbers, perhaps we see something more than a recipe. We see a small sign of a simpler, slower life, deeply connected with a lot of calm. Since there are still plenty of cucumbers left, we can prepare a second jar, and this is the perfect time to clarify a difference that many people confuse. Pickling is not the same as fermenting. At first glance, both methods seem similar because they both transform foods, extend their shelf life, and create more intense flavors. However, the process that happens inside the jar is very different, and understanding it helps us know what we are really eating. In this recipe, we are making a pickle. That means we use an acidic brine, prepared with vinegar, sugar, water, and spices. The vinegar preserves the cucumbers quickly and gives them that sweet, sour, and refreshing flavor we are looking for. It is a practical, straightforward method that is quite easy to control. If we repeat the same proportions, the result will be very similar every time. That is why vinegar pickles are so popular. They do not require waiting too long and offer a consistent flavor. But there is also something important to say. Although pickling is delicious and very useful for accompanying light meals, it does not offer the same probiotic benefits that natural fermentation can provide. In fermentation, vinegar is not added as the main base. What happens is a natural reaction between beneficial bacteria and the sugars present in the food. Over time, those bacteria transform the cucumber and create acidity naturally. That is why fermented cucumbers are usually considered more interesting for gut health. They can become a living food, full of character with a deeper and ever-changing flavor. But they also require more patience. They take longer to be ready, their flavor can be less predictable, and each batch can turn out a little different. So which one should you choose? If you are looking for speed, freshness, and a balanced flavor, vinegar pickling is perfect. If you are looking for a slower preparation with potential benefits for the gut, fermentation can be a great option. The important thing is to know the difference and appreciate how these traditional methods turn a simple cucumber into something full of flavor, memory, and a little everyday wisdom that is simple and very valuable. After 3 days of waiting, the most anticipated moment arrives. Opening the jar and seeing how the cucumbers have changed. The initial green has transformed into a golden yellow tone, clean and appetizing. The brine remains clear and bright, and the slices seem perfectly arranged inside the glass. It is a simple image, but it conveys that satisfaction of having prepared something with care. Upon tasting them, the balance we were looking for from the beginning appears. They are sweet, sour, fresh, and crunchy. Every bite has that light sensation that helps awaken the appetite without making the meal heavy. That is why today I'm going to turn them into a simple salad, ideal for a light lunch, especially if we want to watch our diet without giving up flavor. For the salad, I add a little carrot and some cherry tomatoes. The carrot provides sweetness and texture, while the tomatoes add juiciness and color. I also add a pink egg that I had pickled a few days earlier with beets. That color catches the eye and makes the dish look more special, even though it remains very simple. And of course, the star of the dish cannot be left out, the pickled cucumbers. Just by looking at them, you can already perceive the freshness. The final result is a clean, refreshing salad, perfect for cutting through the greasy feeling of other dishes. But this recipe also leaves a broader lesson. Eating well is only one piece of the puzzle. To feel truly strong, you also have to stay active, move every day, and not let your body get used to inactivity. Another important habit is finishing dinner at least 4 hours before going to sleep. This way, the body has more time to rest. And when night comes, it is a good idea to put the phone away, because blue light can disrupt your sleep. In the end, this jar of pickled cucumbers isn't just about food. It is about small habits, freshness, balance, and a more conscious way of taking care of your health every day, with patience, simplicity, and love for oneself. Doesn't a better life start like this, step by step, in our kitchen every week?